It's Jeff Middlebrooks again with E3 Innovate. We are here in the underneath the Magdalene house in the crawl space, unfortunately where I spend a good bit of my time in different crawl spaces. But as you saw during the construction process, we did what's called a sealed crawl space, or an unvented crawl space, or a conditioned crawl space. So on the outside we foam core the block walls, and on the inside we installed a really nice 12 mil cross-laminated vapor barrier. We attached that to the walls mechanically and also with some foam. We also spray foamed the rim band as well to really create a conditioned environment. What makes a conditioned crawl space though is that we're actually going to supply some conditioned air down here, and this is just from the main supply line that runs into the house. And we've opened up a tap. Now I've already covered this up if you can see that for the duct blaster test. But we're doing a little bit of supply or conditioned air down here. The reason why we do that is for drying purposes. Again, we really want to control humidity down here, which causes the issue that causes the most mold in the southeast is the fact that we have high humidity. If we can dry that air out by putting some conditioned air, we can actually greatly reduce the risk or the chances that we're going to have mold growth down here. So this is a conditioned crawl space, very comfortable. You probably wouldn't hesitate to have a tea party down here if you really had to, right?
Yeah, it's nice and comfortable down here. Can you talk about the tape around the ductwork, how this ductwork is sealed?
Sure. I'm not going to tear into the duct tape because they've done a really nice seal in it, but underneath this is kind of one of the more critical joints of the entire duct system. It's where the supply line comes off the main, or these individual supply lines come off the main supply branch. Underneath this tape, this foil tape, is actually going to be mastic tape, and we check that at the rough inspection or the pre-drywall inspection. So every time this connection comes together, you have to put a very special kind of tape or a paste that's called mastic. That provides a permanent seal. Unfortunately, we use the wrong tape sometimes on duct systems, a duct tape, and that typically fails only after a few days. So we really want to use products that are high quality. They're going to last for a long time.
So the liquid stuff's under this, and then the insulation's put on.
Yeah, then they've insulated the supply line, and then they've gone back on top with a 181U listed foil tape, which is perfectly fine. What you need to hold the two foil insulations together. They've also gone in a conditioned space like this. It's not as critical to have such heavy duct insulation, but they've gone ahead and put an R8 insulation on these ducts, which is code for an unconditioned space. So that's actually going to greatly reduce the chance that we have any condensation or duct sweating down here, which will be really great. One other point to note down here that we've done, which was a really good feature, in Middle Tennessee we're in a high radon risk zone. So Lynn, if you can pan down here, underneath here we have just some 4-inch perforated drainage tile underneath the plastic, and that leads to a Schedule 40 PVC tie-in, and that tie-in goes all the way through the roof just like a traditional plumbing stack. So that's what's called a passive radon system. So we're encouraging any radon or soil gases to come up, hit the plastic, move into the perforated pipe, and then move over to the Schedule 40 and then get exhausted out of the house without going inside the home. Again, this is a very easy to design feature in a house, can greatly reduce the radon levels. In the future, if they ever needed to do an active radon system, they could just simply go into the attic and install a fan.
It's easy when you do it during construction.
Easy when you do it
we
during
plan the pipe through the roof.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of radon systems that we have to install are after the fact, and that really drives the expense up, as you can imagine. It's a challenging process.